Thank you very much, Bu Meutia. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat siang, teman-teman semua. First of all, thank you very much for our guest speaker, Evelyne from the gardener. That I have this is a pleasure from us for us that you can share your knowledge and experience in in your country. And I think this is the idea of the scores. This is as a platform that can be share our experience and our knowledge about the coral reef restoration. And I hope all the participants can get new insight from the speaker, and then we can also share with the speaker about the our problem here and our experience also. I think that's welcome for all of you to these sessions of scores, and please enjoy the sharing and the discussion. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Beginner Subhan. Where are you actually? In here, we still have a morning session.
In the car.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Pak Beginner. And I would like to invite Mbak Tris to give a short opening speech. Please, Mbak, the screen and time is yours.
Hi, thanks everyone for coming, and we have special guests today, Evelyne. So nice to see you again, Evelyne. I met Evelyne last September in Florida, and we shared a session on a coral atlas. But there where I learned about coral gardener. Yeah, I was amazed how they, young, enthusiastic. People running these NGOs and expand very quickly. And I would really want to hear more about Coral Gardener, and especially the sustainable financing program and all the successes you have, and SCORES is a 2-weekly webinars where the reef restoration practitioners from Indonesia come to share and learn from each other. And every month we try to invite international speakers so we can learn more what's happening outside Indonesia, and then whether it's something that we can implement in Indonesia. So thank you so much, Evelyne, for willing to share your experience with us. I'm looking forward to hear more about your program. Thank you so much, Evelyne. Thank you, Mbak Meutia.
Thank you, Mbak Tris. Okay. Then we will enter the most important session, is the sharing session from Miss Evelyne Chavent. She is the head of reef restoration and science at Coral Gardeners. As Mbak Tris already mentioned, it's an NGO that working on coral reef restoration. Am I right? And then she has several, as I saw her LinkedIn account, she has a lot of experience in coral reef conservation, and she was studied at Montpellier University, I believe, and then today she will talk about coral gardeners, visions, business model, and how they work. I really hope from her talks today, we all Indonesian people could learn more about how to restore and conserve coral ecosystem and make it more sustainable and more interesting for tourism and education, and of course ecology restoration. Without further ado, Miss Evelyne, I would like to invite you to give your speech, and the time and screen is yours, please. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Priya and Meutia, for the invitation. I'm really glad that you invited me, and I'm very thankful for you. So, yeah, if you hear me well, I will share my screen and talk about coral gardeners. How actually well I joined. So as Meutia said, I have about 11 years experience of coral restoration, more in the Maldives. And I joined Coral Gardeners 2.5 years ago as a head of restoration, so to put in place the restoration program here in Meutia and everywhere in the world. So with a preview, let's dig into the presentation, and please, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, and I will answer them after this presentation. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yes, it works. All right. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So, coral gardeners. So we are located in French Polynesia in Meutia. So for me, it's still Thursday. So you are in my future, guys. It's Thursday, 5 p.m. here, so it's very funny when we are so 6 years as people around the world. We are always the late one. I'm always the late one. So Coral Gardeners started 5 years ago. In 2017, with a group of local kids from Meutia. It started with Ismet, who was born and raised here in Meutia. And one day, as you can see, the dog surfing. He went surfing on the reef on one of his best spots, and he realized that corals were in surf. So he did some research, and he found out that corals were alive, that they were bleaching because the temperature of the water was too high. And so he decided with his friends to create an NGO to protect the coral reef. So you have to know that they are not marine biologists. They try the best actually to restore the reef in 5 years. And now 5 years later, so from this small group of friends in a 6-month bedroom, we are now 33 employees. And we have plenty that will tell you more, but almost 30,000 corals. So in 5 years, we came up from a very small organization to a bigger NGO, and I will tell you how we did it. So we have a clear mission. So from the first day, we did to basically revolutionize the ocean conservation. And we want to create a global movement to save the reef. So we just don't want to save the reef here in French Polynesia and Meutia, but we want to help anyone around the world with like what we can do with technology. We want to have technology helping us to restore faster, better the reef. We have now techniques in place. So yeah, our main mission is to revolutionize ocean conservation services. So our impact so far, so well, in 2021, at the end of the last year, so we planted more than 15,000 corals in 5 years, so quite a lot. We had almost 9,000 corals in nursery. This year we actually plan to double that number. So we are already at 12,000 corals planted just in 2023. We also have like organized in 3 branches. So we have the restoration. So the core mission is to restore the reef, to have more coral on the reef, more fish on the reef. Yeah, for us to have more fish to catch at the end of the day. But also our main mission is awareness. So we want to reach as much people as possible around the globe, that people know what is a coral reef, people know that corals are important for anyone living on the planet, and that everyone can take care of them and can protect them. So we reached 45 million people just last year, so it was a lot around the social media. So we have a very strong social media campaign and team. And the last one is all about innovation. So we try to have nursery connected with buoys, cameras on the restoration side, AI to identify fish. So with all of that, actually, we want to implement that all around the world if people want it. Well, so that is a slide that you all know. So while corals are going extinct, I'm not gonna tell you about that. You all know that it's by the end of the century, it's not in the ground. You might not have. Sorry? Oh, sorry. So yeah, so we all need to do something, and since we're all in coral conservation and restoration, so you know this slide, so we need to act and we need to act now. So we thought like, okay, what we can do for the next few years. So we made a plan. The plan is called the Odyssey 2025. Because we want to have better solutions. We want to make it, we want to make it different. We want to scale up restoration, and we want to make it faster, so we can restore more coral reefs in a better way. So we have some core goals that I will share with you. There's a secret. Yeah, oops, sorry. Now, okay, never mind. So the core goal is to plant 1 million coral by 2025 to reach around the world, to reach 1 billion people through social media and local awareness, and to be one of the most innovative coral restoration program around the world. So we have very big goals to reach in the next 2 years. So how are we going to do that? Well, it's not easy, but we have a plan. Let's see if it works. It really did work. So we're gonna have we diversify our coral gardening method. So we have nursery in water, and then we plant corals. But we have also well, next month we'll have corals on land in a nursery. So we have 2 different kinds of methods to grow coral. And then coupled with the artificial intelligence, some innovation tools like the 3D mapping, the AI that can recognize the fish. We have what is called the Reef suite. So we're gonna have with the application, so we're gonna have an application that we can monitor coral in the nursery, coral in the restoration site, and also the fish population. So that will be able to help us faster to see if it's working or not. And the last way is with the bioacoustic program. So we put microphone on the water, so we can see if our restoration site is actually having more fish or not, and if it's working. So that's all the plans that we put together this year. But the plan is also, as I told you, is to plant 1 million corals all around the world. So we're starting to have, because it all started with people coming from all these places. You can see like a little sign of coral gardeners here and there. It's all people who ask about help. So in all these different countries, and we see like if there is a potential opening, if we can help them, if they are serious about it. So next year we plan to open Fiji. We have a branch hopefully in Fiji, maybe close to you in Thailand, and maybe in Indonesia one day. So yeah, so the plan is to be everywhere, is to be able to to restore coral reef in a unique way. So what we bring with us, which is different from any other organization, is we have a restoration guide that goes in like kind of just the manual of the best coral practitioners. Then how to raise awareness, how to post on social media, what kind of pictures, what is the brand guideline, what is the tone of voice that we need to use on the innovation side, the CGV or suite that I was talking to you about like just earlier. All of that I will go back in details later, but now I want to talk about the CG funding, like how actually from a small NGO that where the main people were 19 years old when we started, and now I'm 24 and people out of 33 people, how actually he raised money. We didn't have any governmental support, neither from France, Polynesia, nor from France. So we actually made the money by ourselves. So what we did is we separate the revenue in three parts. So all of that money is injected in this restoration, awareness, and innovation. So the three sources are the product, partnership, and philanthropy. So 1/3 of our revenue source is B2C. So B2C is business to consumer model. So is anything that we sell directly to people. So the first thing we started was the coral adoption. So people could go on our website and adopt a coral. They didn't physically adopt it, we didn't send the coral, but they were kind of sponsoring us to take care of the coral, to cleanse it. So we keep on doing that. They receive an adoption card that they can print if they want, or we put it on social media if they want to share it with the rest of the world. We also sell t-shirts now on our website. I think we started with sweater and caps also. So we are trying to have some sustainable products that people can use. So at the moment, the t-shirts are made of cotton, so sustainable form of cotton. We will sell soon bags, dry bags that are made out of ocean plastic. So whatever we sell, we try to have it either removed from the sea and upcycled, or something that is sustainable coming from the land. So that's basically 1/3 of our revenue is we have a team of 3 people who are working on this program, how the logistics, where to buy, how to buy, what to do. We're gonna have bracelet also very soon on our website. So that's one mission. So we think the reason why we divided in 3 is not to have all our eggs in the same basket. So if one stream of revenue fails for one reason, at least we have still 2 revenues that is still working. So the second one is B2B model, which means like business to business. So we are not actually going to people, but we are going to businesses. So we have a program that we launched this year that is called With the Reef. So it's a program that businesses, so we select which businesses, they have to be sustainable, they have to have a proper guideline to protect the planet. And they can share with us, they can give us a percentage of their revenue. So it's usually 1% of their revenue will go to our fund. So at the moment, we're working with 40 different businesses around the world. And which give us like a continuous revenue stream. Because it's sometimes 1%, maybe more. So it's continuous, and that help us to plan ahead of what's going on. We also partner with some brands that we like, and they're also sustainable. So, for example, we partnered with Scott bags for dry bags, as I said, and from anything plastic out of the ocean. So we send them the plastic that we find on the beach, and they make bags out of it. We partner also with Norfair, a company that makes clothes and sell, but from sustainable sources. For example, we partner with Taitini, so that helps us to bring people if we can. So we have at the moment 8 different partners that give us, as I said, the revenue on a long term. We partner also with Rolex. I didn't put the picture on it. But yeah, so again, there is a team of 2 people working full time on that, trying to find a partner, or if there is a company that wants to work with us, we do our due diligence to look if they are really sustainable, if they don't want it as a greenwashing. So we are really careful on with what and with who we're partnering, because this is for long term. So that's the two main way of farming that we were using until lately. And more and more this year, we had the people coming and they just wanted to nicely to give us money. So it's like a private donor. So now we found it like a club, what we call Reef Club, and it's for private donor and grants. So we're gonna knock at the door of grant people. So some like, for example, there is Ocean Time, there is other or family donors that we will go and knock at the door and say, hey, listen, like, we have this project, we have this plan. We want to protect and save the corals around the world. That's how we're going to do it. We want to plant 1 million corals. We want to empower local community. We want the local community to plant the coral, not us, everywhere we go. And hopefully, and this already give us money, because we are applying for grants, and hopefully now with private donors. So that basically the three main revenues that here we use in Meutia to fund our system. We're gonna add another revenue that we started during COVID, which is ecotourism. There are a lot of tourists coming on the island, and they want to visit our property. They want to see our nursery, our coral. They want to plant a coral. They want to do something. So now this year, well, next year, 2023, we're going to put that together, like a way that tourists who are here can also contribute by planting corals and help us by giving us money. So that will be the fourth way of actually funding ourselves here in Meutia. Please tell me if I did that. So that's the funding part, and this gives us a visibility of the new year to come. We know with the partnership, we know with the businesses that okay, we'll have at least this minimum revenue, and we can plan ahead of, okay, we will need a boat, we will need we need to invest on something, we need more people. So this allows us also to pay us. We have 36 people full time paid. So we are very happy and thankful for that. So all this money will give us, so to restore the reef, so as I said, we have three core missions. So one is to restore the reef. So I'm not going to teach you anything about that. You probably know about it. So we collect resilient coral. So basically any coral that has survived the last bleaching event, We go and we collect 10% of the colony maximum. We put the fragment in ropes or seem to be in tanks on land. We take care of them for a year or so, and then we plant them on coral, on dead coral head or dead fish fat, and then we grow back to a fully colony, mature colony that can attract more coral, can attract more fish. So as I told you, so this is an example of one of our reefs just outside where we are, outside our office. So the reef doesn't look very nice, but when we plant coral, actually they grow back. So in 2 years' time, we can see that this, for example, it's actually working very well. It's impressive how fast it has grown. So we are very happy for that. We'll have more pictures this year coming. Because now we're moving on the year, and so far we have planted. So from in 5 years, 6 years, 5 years we've planted more than 27,000 corals so far. But the goal is to reach 30,000 before the end of the year. So we basically have to plant 3,000 corals, which is much more feasible. So yeah, by the end of the year, we have 30,000 coral planted in Meutia and 15,000 coral alone planted this year. So it's quite a big scale-up for us because we planted 15,000 coral in 4 years, and in 1 year we doubled that. So it's quite impressive, our work, what we see. But also our second core mission is to raise awareness. So we want to tell, as I told you, the story of the reef around the world. We want to have everyone to know what is a coral reef, how important it is. And we have some beautiful content creators, videographers, photographers, as you can tell, like we're doing very nice photos, so it helps us to reach millions of people around the world. But we're doing that also locally, so it's very important for us that locals own the reef, own the project. So at the moment, we have projects with 3 schools, 2 schools in Meutia and 1 school in Tahiti. So 2 schools have their own coral restoration project. So they basically have their small coral nursery. They plant coral, as you can see on the pictures, and they monitor the growth, the health of the coral, and that all the year, like so for a 4-year program. So we're very happy because they know about coral, they will know about the fish with the teacher, and also with all the legends of the island, how everything is connected to the sea and to the human. So we are very, very happy about that, and we're really working with kids, mainly on the island, well, to share this knowledge and that they really own their reef. And the last thing, and then after I will stop talking, I think. The last thing is the innovation. So we have technology. We want to scale up restoration, but it's going to be only done by technology. So we can send pictures. There is a buoy. You might know this buoy, which is a SOFAR spotter that gives us the temperature and also the wave and the wind. So that we have it on our 3 nursery sites. And we have the temperature live. We also have what we call the Reforest camera. So it's a camera that films 24/7 around the reef, and with the AI, which will identify the fish, we will be able to, in the long term, hopefully to not go in the water all the time as human, because when we're in the water, the fish can float, so it's really hard to have a proper view of the fish population and biomass. So with the camera, they stay in place all the time and filming 24/7. We hopefully in the future be able to monitor the reef just with the camera. So I will show you a short video of the reef OS that Drew will talk about it, and then I will put on cooking. Here you go. So this kind of video also helps us to reach people, and also like will help us to identify the fish, like this one that we want to work. No, we don't want to work. So the AI basically, like as you can see, the square of the fish, so it's following the fish around, and the number you see on the right side of the name of the fish is the probability that the AI is confident that this, for example, is a butterfly fish, so 0.72 is confident that is a butterfly fish. And the plan is, is to train it, so it's going to take few moments to train it and to recognize, because the fish doesn't look the same when it's facing the camera, when it's on the left or on the right side, or on the back, or on the other side. So you need to recognize all these different aspects of the fish and to know what it is. So that's a big part of our work. And also we have developed an application. So on our phone, that we will be able to, we are able actually to monitor underwater the health, the survival rate, and the growth of our coral in the nurseries, and in a few months also in a transplanted area. So with our phone underwater, with of course a housing, an underwater housing, we're able to monitor, so to enter all the data in the application, and as soon as we are coming to a Wi-Fi area, so basically our office, it go up to the cloud, and all the data are analyzed again with the artificial intelligence, and give us a report on the growth of the coral, the health of the coral, if the nursery is doing well, if the nursery is doing very well, if there is more disease, less disease. So that's what is going to help us also. And lately, soon to be, we're hopefully going to have an underwater robot also to help us monitor our transplant area and do some 3D mapping of the coral and the area. So we also can see the difference in coral health and coral growth. So without further ado, so that's basically what we do with coral gardeners. And I just wanted to finish with one more video. So I hope like I didn't put everyone to sleep. Of the importance of coral reefs and well, importance of the ocean and how the ocean is beautiful. And that's again an example of the videos that we are doing, that we are putting on social media, so to attract more founders and to attract more people to follow us. So here it is, if they want to it. I don't know if it's black. Okay.
Baru kok ini semangatnya bang. Iya. Daya juang gitu.
And here it is. So thank you again very much for the invitation. You have my details if you have some question later on, or if you want to keep in contact, please do. And yeah, and I open for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Evelyne, for a very interesting talk. And well, it's very inspirational about what the coral gardeners have done so far. As I see in the participant list, we already increased our participant up to 70%. And there's several person that I noticed comes from academician and also NGO that working with coral reef ecosystem also. And we already have one questions here on the chat room from Molly from Murdoch University. Thank you so much, Evelyne. Such amazing work. I am a marine biology and conservation student currently working on a coral project in Les Village, Bali. Oh, okay, which has sparked an interest in coral restoration. She has 3 questions. How can we get involved? I believe in the coral gardeners. And the second question is, how does coral gardeners work with the local community in Mororea? And what glue are you using? Stick the mature coral to stick the damage to the damaged areas. What is it composed of? That the first questions, and you can directly answer that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, well, you can join us. How to get involved in coral gardeners? It's very easy. You can send us an email. So you can send me an email, and we can keep in contact and see how we can work together. Then how we work with local community. So we hire local fishermen to work with us. We also, not all the fishermen can work with us, and most of them like to fish and go in the fish. But they are a very good knowledge for us. So we go and ask them, because they've been there for forever, and they usually family of fishermen. So they fish for generation and generation, so they will know the reef, they see how the reef has evolved, and they know when this fish was spawned, they know when the coral was spawned, but they don't know what it was. So we use their knowledge, the traditional knowledge. It's very important. I know I like scientific also background. I like to know why it was and have a proper data, but also the traditional knowledge of the fishermen, of the local people who are using the sea way before us and for generations. We actually ask them, and we take really much in account what they tell us about where to restore or not to restore. And they ask us, oh yeah, but this says, you know, they used to have coral before, but now there is no more coral, there is no more fish. What happened? So we try to dig in and we see if it's a potential restoration area, and if so, that we can coral, and hopefully in 5 years, 10 years time, they can go back on fishing, and that's how actually we work with local community, and if ever, and that's what we're going to do in any other place. We settle coral gardeners is not about, it's about, of course, restoration. Coral restoration is also to empower local community and also very much local knowledge. Because if I ever go somewhere like, for example, in Indonesia, I have no knowledge of the reef over there. I know how a coral works. I know how a fish works. But how do they work in the particular area? No, the fishermen will know. The local people who have been there all the time, they will know. So that's a much valuable knowledge that we can't put aside. It's impossible. So that's how we work with local, and that's how we want to work anywhere we go in the world. Then the glue. Speaking of the glue, well, it's cement. At the moment, we're using cement. Epoxy for us is way too expensive. We can't ship it. Meutia is, I could have put a map. It's a dot in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. So it's very hard to get anything here. So we use cement with a bit of Sika. It is a brand of cement hardener underwater. So that will be 10 doses of cement for 1 dose of Sika, and we mix with a bit of water, and until it looks like a clay dough. We put it in the plastic bag, and then we can transfer, like we can take a day to plant coral, so cement coral. So we put coral, we wedge it in some places, and then we put cement to hold it into place. That's it. I think I hope I answered all your questions.
Okay, how is Molly?
Thank you so much. You sure did.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Molly. It's a very nice information. So it's a lot cheaper also using that cement, I believe. And perhaps our Indonesians colleagues that working on coral restoration could also adopt that technique or methods. And I think from Bapak Istan from Adopsi have questions. He asked whether he can ask open questions. Hello? Hello? Okay. Is there any questions? And Evelyne, well, we have in Indonesia, we have several, I believe we have several people working on coral reef restoration, as Bapak Beginner Subhan also working with BioRock Indonesia, and many of people here do that too. So what you are working in Coral Gardener is a very comprehensive. So you are including the community, the local community from the beginning of the project. Yes? Okay, that's a very interesting. And we have another questions from from Yayasan Ekologi Kepulauan Riau. He asked, how can the effective strategy that the Coral Gardener has carried out in this coral restoration program be able to ensure support from possible donors, tourism actors, or the community? They work in Bintan Island, one of island in the Riau archipelago. Okay, and we have another questions from Adopsi, but perhaps you can answer the first questions from Yayasan Ekologi, Evelyne. Thank you.
Yes, so basically how we can ensure we can't ensure anything. But for the donors, the tourism or the local community, so the donor, we what we do is when we receive the grant or we receive the partnership and they're like, okay, we'll give you that amount of money. We keep a relationship with them. So every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, we'll give them the report. They are welcome to come. Also, the tourism, actually, we don't really work yet with tourism. They're coming. So some tourists, Meutia is small island, big island, I don't know, it's 60 kilometers long. And our gate is always open. So we receive visitors coming like time to time. So how to strengthen this sector, I would say will be more maybe advertising anywhere else, and that's how we can support, and that's the word of mouth also here for the local community, and the local community will they come time to time to us. They sometimes call, they come clean the reef with us. So we try to integrate them and invite them as much as possible. So I don't know if I answer your question, please. I hope so.
Okay, thank you, Evelyne. And we have 2 questions. First from Bapak Isten from Adapsi and Dennis Afandi, please.
Thank you, Meutia. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. And I have a question for Evelyne, but I've been following you many times, long time from LinkedIn or Instagram, but I get to ask you from here. I'm really interested with the idea of B2C, of coral adoptions, that you have been working on it a long time ago. And also, we are currently also doing the same, relatively the same in Indonesia. We call it adopsi. Sorry to say that, but we are working on the same. With good purpose. So I don't mind to mention it here. So we are planning to make a one-stop coral adoption in Indonesia, but it's been 6 months. We're working on it, but not so many people will love to adopt a coral. I don't know, because we target until now still Indonesia. Do you see any differences between developing country or developed country, or you see any pattern between regions in this type of region? Then they have a kind of a habit to adopt a coral, or you see any pattern on it? Yeah. So just want to validate the idea or the business model, if it works in Indonesia or not for now yet.
I think the thing that helped us a lot is at the beginning they were working only on coral adoption, and they were selling like 10, 20, 100 coral a day, like adopting coral a day. Yeah. And it's all about bringing, knowing some people, like ambassador and influencer from the social media. That's how actually coral gardeners kicked off, is by knocking at the door of the influencers in Instagram. That was the first one who came well known was Alex Siren. So it's a woman. She came and she made a video of coral gardeners, and this video is somehow, thank you, one of the 10 most viewed on Instagram in the entire world. So somehow with the algorithm, it was seen. So people knew it, and bam, they adopted. They went on the website and like, oh yeah, how we can help, we can adopt the coral. So I will see this for you. And the main one adopting are American and Canadian corals. So that's why.
American?
Yeah, American and Canada. So
because of geographical distance? Is it because geographical distance, or just because of the the economic status?
I think it's the economic status and also the tourism. The main tourism are Americans here who come here.
Okay, yeah.
And and that's why, even though we're French, all our communication is in English, because our main adopters are from English-speaking countries. So what we do to get people and to get the money, we aim as much as possible on social media, on making videos, on trying to bring here in Meutia, in the middle of nowhere, people who are known on social media,
Uh-huh.
and they believe in our project, and they put videos and they put like, oh look, like for your project, for example, oh, I'm in Indonesia, that's the best place. Look, the reef are dying. I know this NGO. They are super good. They're doing a very good job. Please help them, and boom, that might just stop NGO.
Wow, nice. Thank you for the really insightful. Can I ask one more question, or is too much? Bu Meutia?
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, it's a very practical, but I am glad to ask you. I also I try to do the microfragmentation, but in a laboratory scale. And maybe one information, we use a super glue to glue it. The name is super glue. And I was wondering, did you do it in the laboratory for your microfragmentation or directly on the water? And then did you see any results already on it?
Well, we did, the thing is we did directly underwater. So we started microfragmentation and we put them in our nursery underwater. And we glue them with a glue because we had the show and we put them here on land, we glue them. And we put them in our nursery. The thing is like smaller than, I would say, 1 inch.
Oh, 1 inch.
That, they will die in the water.
Oh, really? Because last time I used 1 centimeter square.
Yeah, so here it's very rare, so what we want to do is we want to try the microfragmentation on land, so to cut smaller fragments, and so when they reach that size, so we should take like 2-3 months. We put them in our nursery underwater. They wait a month or two to get the climate to this water, and then that will plant them in the reef. So that the plant have to do that.
Cool. All right, thank you very much. That's really clear. I'll see you when I see you in Indonesia one time.
So much welcome.
Okay, thank you, Pak Isten. We have another questions from Dennis, and one questions in the chat column. But first, please, Dennis, you could ask your questions there.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone for the time. Thank you, Evelyne, for the insight. As we know from your slide, coral gardeners from diverse background like engineer, scientists, and coral gardeners. So in Indonesia, we also know we have the gap of the background from the example from like coral gardeners and engineer. As we know, in marine ecosystem, we know that there's several technologies that can be do on the coral restoration, and like ROV, that's a underwater vehicle that can plant the coral. As we know, really amazing diver can plant maybe a few hundred corals in a day. You know, that might be able to plant 20, 30 in an hour. I think a robot should be able to do 10 to 100 times faster. As we know, my background is mechatronic engineers. So the question is, as we know, you introduction your technologies like AI from Reef that you taught before. How can and what is the biggest challenges to do like collaboration with other stakeholder and local people around the world? As we know, you gonna create a project, a new site in Indonesia. How you can collaborate with other stakeholders there? So that's my question. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Well, yeah, for the engineering part, well, yeah, we know of the ROV, and we want to we don't know if they'll be able to send yet because there's many different like parameters taken account. So we also keep the ROP to monitor and to see the difference over the year, to do photogrammetry, to do all of that. But with the stakeholder, like how we're going to do it if we move to a country like, for example, Indonesia. Well, first, we're not going to go and say, okay, I'm coming here. No. We need someone on the ground, Indonesian, if we go to Indonesia, or who have stayed for long enough, who knows the state of the reef, who know, and we really want to do something. So this person is the first key stakeholder that will become coral gardeners. And then with this person, we should be introduced to the governmental agencies, the local community, the local mayor, the local schools, and maybe some other NGO we're working on coral. So how we can work together toward the restoration of the reef. So that's how I see that, and that's how we really see it. Did that answer your question?
Okay, that's clear. So may I ask another question for the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. As we know, you thought before you gonna collaboration with ecotourism site, like from another city. As we know, ecotourism can also take a part of to conserve the environmental, especially on coral restoration. So how you can do the collaboration between ecotourism site and your project coral gardeners?
Yeah, so the plan is to have people who visit Meutia. So there are a few hotels here. There's like 4 hotels on this island. A lot of Airbnb, so people come from all around the world and they stay in Meutia. So for example, Meutia is I don't know the island. The first one comes to my mind is Bali. So people come and visit, and if they want to come here, they will. So the plan is for us to have their money. And how we can have their money is to show them our nurseries, to show them our planting site. So we'll take a boat.
Abang pesan Gojek sendiri, Bunda lagi ada seminar ini.
Okay, I'll go first. And so it's to show them how we do this stuff, and maybe not them to plant, but to see how it works. And in a very small group, and we teach them how not to break the reef and what to do in order to protect the reef also. So that's the plan. We haven't done that yet, but that's the plan to do that.
Okay, thank you, Evelyne, for the answer. That's a great answer that we know we can take a part as a traveler and to do ecotourism site, and especially like in Bali, we know that there are a lot of diverse recreation site. So in the future, maybe you can collaboration with the divers, can make a program to do like a coral plantation and other like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, for the questions. And I'm so sorry for the interruption. Okay, well, we have another questions in the chat column. Since this is Friday here in Indonesia, at the middle of the noon, we have a praying time. So we will have we will have a short time before that, and the last questions, I'm so sorry for that, Evelyne, and the last questions,
Two questions in the chat room from Pak Eka And from Pak Ofri.
Yeah. Oh, okay. From Pak Eka and Gary from Les Village, Bali. They asked about.
And after that, sorry, Meutia, and after that, Pak Ofri.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Sorry.
noticed that. Thank you, Mbak. Okay, will you kindly give a sense of how effective they are for the sharing funding models? What if you would like to tell and share to us about what percentage of your operational costs in the past years, say in 2021, was covered by B2C, B2B, and donations? And the last questions from Bapak Ofri Johan from Center of Research in Indonesia. Did you found coral disease in your areas, and how this activity or the restoration cover about the coral disease, perhaps the studies, or how to maintain the coral transplant so it didn't get any coral disease and etc. Thank you, Evelyne.
Okay, so I will go short. So for the funding department, let's say 2021, and this year, I would say it's a third each. So a third of the revenue, less than a third B2C, was like maybe 15%. A big chunk of it, more than 70% was B2B, so with business and partnership, and the rest, very few, was donation. And this year, I think it's more a third. And that's the plan for next year, to have it all in 3 different orders, so we can like play around with it. Sorry, I don't have the figure yet because I'm not in the funding department, so I can't give you figures. But yeah, I know it's a third the plan. And the last restoration site on coral disease, and it's called well, we have the same problem. Zubula is not eating our coral. There's a pincushion starfish that are eating the coral, sadly. But we found out that corals are not fighting against each other here. We probably plant them at the right distance, and we plant the same species close to each other, and when they're big enough to actually merge and feed together. I don't have a very long monitoring time for this. The longest is 2 years, 3 years now, because it's 2019. So we don't have like big colonies, but we have bigger colonies, and hopefully starting next year, we can check on the spawning. And if it's spawn, that will be so amazing to see our coral spawn in our restoration area. I have no idea if I answer your question.
Okay, thank you, Evelyne. And concerning to that, I just wonder, because I believe you monitor all the progress of the coral, the growth and the survival of the coral transplant. Is there any, I don't know, because it's very interesting to see the progressivity of the corals restoration there. Is there any data that we could see perhaps in the Coral Gardener website, so we are Indonesian could learn more about that, and perhaps if there is several gaps that we have been done in here, we could learn and by your experience, and perhaps there is any chance of collaboration between our NGOs and perhaps our institution as academician and other stakeholders, and we could make any arrangement. Is there any possibilities, or people in this seminar just could go to your website directly, or perhaps those kind of information?
yeah, they can see our, they can go to our website and see we are changing our website. So I think next week is going to be an all brand new website. I haven't seen it yet, so it looks very nice. By
So
the
it's a
end of
surprise.
this, yeah, surprise, I forgot.
Okay.
So this year, so every year we do an impact report. So Salome, who couldn't be here tonight with me, but you guys know her. She's all about writing the impact report. That's why she can't be physically here. She has too much to do. And by the end of February next year, we'll have all the number of what we did this year. So how many calls we counted, what the survival rate, if the call coverage has increased, how many people we educated, how many actually given money we made, which I have no idea how much we made. And all of that. Also, please, I can put my email, but if you want to contact me, please do so. We definitely keep in touch. We can see how we can collaborate on the future ground. I'm open for everything, I would say. Yeah, if you can extend, like maybe you have some ideas that works in Indonesia, and I'm like, oh yeah, that I didn't think of. Maybe it works in French Polynesia, or hey, listen, my work, we tried, this didn't work, so maybe if we try, it might not work, or something like this. But yeah, definitely let's keep in touch, and yeah, I will be really glad to be part of that.
Okay, thank you very much, Evelyne. There's a lot of interesting topic about your talks today. I believe that will trigger any research or collaboration that I hope will be ahead of us more in the future. Last but not least, perhaps Mbak Tris, you have any thing to yeah, please.
Thank you so much, Evelyne. It's so incredible how you guys doing it like very, like very well taught everything, like from the business sides, how you present yourself in social media. It's very focused, it's very focused. How many staff do you have now, Evelyne, there in Coral Garden?
We are 33 people.
How many?
33.
Oh, 33. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really amazing. Like, I don't know. I believe like many of us really curious to know more. Maybe one day we have an offline workshop or seminars, and then can invite you guys to Indonesia. But thank you so much. I believe like the discussion can go on for many more hours, and there's so many questions I want to ask you personally, but I let other people know to ask question first, and I can always contact you, can always Zoom. But thank you so much, and then please do share if you have like reports from Coral Gardener, especially with the business model. I'm very interested into it, and then see if we can share that more to the Indonesian practitioner for reef restoration to be more self-sustained. And especially because it's self-sustained, you guys doing it yourself, you tend to taking care of it more, And the other thing I'm interested also, like you are clearly have a plan for upscaling, and that's very important, I think, because it's very difficult if we do it like small scale. Reef restoration tend to be small scale, but you know how it is, like when they are big, they are much more stronger. And anyway, thanks so much. And give my best regards to Salome and Karin and everyone at Coral Gardener. And I hope to see you or to be able to invite you in person in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. Like if I ever go to this side of the world, I will stop by in Indonesia for sure.
I think that's all from me. And in 2 weeks' time or in 1 week time, we will back to have like the Indonesian speakers. and it will go back to our normal hours Monday afternoon. Today is special because the time difference, and then Evelyne have to stay up a bit late from the office, I believe, but it is really useful. Thank you so much. I'm returning to you, Meutia.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Tris. Okay, Evelyne, this is a very good discussion we have here, and as Mbak Tris already mentioned, that must be a lot of questions from our Indonesian colleague here, but I hope they could contact you via LinkedIn or your Instagram, and because the shortage of time, and I believe that already late also in your place, I would like to thank you all of you, and Evelyne, for the very inspirational and interesting topic today. And I would like to say have a nice weekend ahead for all you guys, because here we have Friday, and I don't know, there you already Friday there.
No, I'm on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm on
Oh,
Thursday.
okay. So
yeah, you're in my future, guys.
okay, but every day can be weekend if
Yes.
you have a beach near. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day, and keep stay healthy, because we still have COVID everywhere. Keep maintaining your health, and be happy everywhere. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Evelyne.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Evelyne. Mbak Meutia,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mut.
Evelyne.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Meutia.
Makasih, Mbak. Makasih, Gin. Salam.